Ronnie thought there was no position available.
Well, it still had to be got. He still had to get the first red on full onto the second. But he is hitting the ball like a dream this afternoon. I should think Mark Williams is a little bit worried.
36.
As great a player as he is, he knows when O'Sullivan is at his best. He's tough to hold.
37.
And it doesn't help that his record in recent years is not good. It's over a decade since he's beaten him.
$44. 45. $52.
Well, the first frame lasted just over 10 minutes. That magnificent 107 break, and all Mark's done wrong. He was in a tough snooker and slipped round the back of the red. Now that has gone slightly wrong.
60.
Can still pot this in the middle pocket, but I don't know if he can avoid canning into the edge of the reds there. He's looking at the other one to cut it back in because he's 64 in front. He's taking the slightly more difficult pot. I don't think there is any difficult pots at the moment for Ronnie O'Sullivan. What a start. And in a matter of some, well, under 20 minutes, he's going to take the first two frames here this afternoon.
Just needs one more red, but you don't see him missing what we're watching today.
69.
Well, I'm not a betting man, Neil. I know you like your odds and that, but Betfred were offering 6-1 against 5 centuries been made this afternoon. We've already had 2. Oh, that might have spoiled the second one.
74.
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be a century now. As far as the frame is concerned, I don't see Mark Williams continuing, because it's not really his thing to carry on.
74.
Well, there you are. There's a shot. 78 in it with 67 on. Mark Williams wants 3 snookers, but he does continue. It looks very much like 7-3.
Yes, I don't blame Mark for trying to get some sort of rhythm going.
Yeah, I guess that's what it would be, because Mark is anything more than 1 snooker. He's usually happy to sit in his chair and start the next frame. Of course, he's not out of the match, no way, but he will need to get something happening quite soon.
Nine.
Be interesting to see if he just clears up here. I think where the balls are situated, he might try for the snookers, because the brown's in a good position near the green, and he'll leave a red near the pink. Well, it doesn't matter which of those reds he leaves, they'll be in a good
16.
snookering position. I think he's missed this one.
Yeah, well, he concedes immediately. Well, he asked Ronnie O'Sullivan, who's happy to accept his concession, and Ronnie looks tremendous this afternoon. He's now leading Mark Williams 7-3.
Frame 11, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Yeah, very good point, Hazel. 5 frames in a row, Ronnie's won, with breaks of 48, 86, another 48, 107 and 74. Mark's got to try and make something happen here, but you can't just sort of have a go at anything. Might be able to take the pot on here, just cued across it slightly. It was worth the risk. The only one he would leave was the one he was trying. Just wondering if Ronnie might just be tempted with this one. He wouldn't leave a great deal. Wasn't far away, but the only red he could leave was the one he attempted, and when it cannoned the yellow, it's given Mark a chance. Now he'd probably play to get on the green or brown here to get into the bunch rather than the blue. Let's have a look what angle he has.
1.
He's gone a bit too far. No angle now to get into the bunch. He wanted to leave the brown and then come off the side cushion, split the pack. And if he takes the green, that's quite an ambitious shot to split the reds. He looked at it. Well, that's a great effort. That was a great effort. He had so much side on that
3.
when he played the pot in the middle. He's running side and he's stuck in the reds. Very unlucky.
Catching ball.
Well, at least it was
Mark
touching,
Williams,
so he
3.
could just play away from it. But that was a great effort from the yellow to split the bunch. Terrific amount of right-hand side, and it hit the second cushion, went into the reds. Very unlucky.
Interesting shot. He clearly wasn't interested in the playing the half ball red to the corner pocket. He thought that was beyond him. Trouble is, he didn't shift the red away from the pocket very far. He got the cue ball back. So it was a strange one.
This will test his cue action here. Very good.
1.
Excellent. I think with Ronnie's shot, he hit it far too thin, Neil, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so, but Mark has played some good shots in this frame already. He was, as Dennis said, unlucky not to break them from the yellow. And as is often the case, when the chances come along, you feel you've got to take them. And already he's got awkward cueing on the black. Don't know what he can get to from the pack if he just rolls in the pink. Is it another dreaded plant? He's missed one already. Don't know if the two reds go to the left corner. There's enough space between them to make it into a plant. Yeah, from where the cue ball is, you would fancy him. He's got to hit the first red almost straight on.
Well, that kick, believe it or not, the red jumped after the plant, but it has opened a few up. That's okay. It's so important here for Mark Williams to possibly make a frame-winning break, just to let Ronnie O'Sullivan know that he's around here.
13.
First two frames have been all about Ronnie.
He's looked at playing a gentle cannon from this. I don't think he's going to go into them very hard. That's the red he wanted to play the cannon on. That is a lovely shot. That's exactly what he played.
18.
Yeah, it's one of those shots we say about Mark. He floats the ball into the pocket.
19.
Well, this is snooker at a very high standard
26.
between two great players. 5 world titles between them.
27.
Now, he's purposely left the angle on this. I think the reds are pretty much tied up. Might not be too bad. It's not perfect by any means, but as a left-hander, he might be able to reach that red. It's very close up, though, and it would be one of these that, well, you could push if you're not careful. Double hit or something.
I'm not sure what he's looking at there, but he's very close to it, as Neil said. It's, well, even though he's quite a tall lad, Mark, this is awkward to get to. Very unlucky there to stick in the reds like that. Yeah, it's not even straight. I'll just show you again. Very unfortunate to stick in them, but you'd think he'd get the spider out rather than try and. I mean, he's not right down the shot here. No. Well, look at where the balls are sitting here. 37, and just that little bit of bad luck when going into them. And Ronnie, well, we know the form he's in. This is another good chance.
I think he was slightly in denial about that shot. It was just too difficult, wasn't it? But he refused to take a backward step and just drop into the reds. He played it, couldn't get on the black, but it looks like it's going to cost him the frame, the way O'Sullivan's been. The angle he played it at wasn't quite the potting angle, but he didn't want to push it.
Eight. Nine.
Yeah, he really stretched for that. I thought he might have. Look at that. It's such an awkward
60.
shot. I suppose if he got the spider, he felt he might have pushed it.
17.
Well, we all know the problem here, the red near the cushion.
It does appear that that is the only obvious problem here, because we've seen how well
25.
Ronnie is cueing today. Breaks of 107 and 74 already this afternoon, and just a possibility that he might go into the two reds. Yep, because he's got one to the left middle. Classy again from O'Sullivan.
Nearly carried on with the shot, but he did that against Peter Ebden a couple of times. Sort of changed his mind while he was down on the shot, and that's the worst possible thing you could do. It's a bit like golf. If you change your mind, step away, and then step back again. mean, the one to the left side of the table is not too badly placed.
$36.
Well, whichever way you look at it, you will need all 4 reds, even though the 3,
47.
well, now 2, and this black with it are in open play. As Dennis said, the one on the left is you can get on that. The one on the right, as a right-handed player, he could roll down the cushion, but it's still got to be done.
Well, he's looking at taking the chance here to pot it. If the pink had been in the spot, it would have been a little bit
44.
easier. If he does risk moving it here, you've got to be careful.
45.
See, if the pink was on his spot, he was in perfect position. Now he's knocked that red fairly safe, and the angle he has on the blue, not good to get in between those 2 reds. Well, what about this for a shot if he misses the black? I mean, I'll tell you what, he must be so confident with that tip to play a shot like that. He didn't even hit it that hard, and look where he's got the cue ball from this position. Absolutely amazing.
Timing was brilliant, wasn't it? And that's the kind of shot I remember when he first turned professional. Was a really young man. He was knocking those in, those blues, screwing the ball around the table. This looks the more difficult red to me, the one he's playing.
Yeah, back into a blind pocket.
No problem at all. Beautifully played. I don't suppose he'll get any better on the red than where he was on the last shot. So, again, still got work to do. This is not guaranteed. Going to use a lot of power here. Oh dear, that's the first one he's missed, and there was more needed on that shot than all the others.
Well, he didn't have his hand on the table there. He was bridging on the cushion, and that didn't help his cause, as you can see. So what a shot is faced with here. Can Mark Williams knock this long red in? Well, at least it's gone safe, but
it wasn't a nice angle, was it? It was one of those, if he pots it, his cue ball is going towards the side cushion unless he hits it harder than he would have been comfortable with.
Well, does he take the double on? There's an easy snooker available to him. He's played the snooker. It's going to have to be the green. Played the snooker and behind the brown and pink. And that's a bit of a bonus, because just looking at it, the middle pocket's in the way slightly. You'll have to get a lot of side on this. He obviously can't see enough of this red to send it around the angles. He can only hit the right-hand side of it. Having to swerve it slightly. Oh, this is a good shot. From that position, he judged that to perfection.
I just wonder if he can get in behind the black here with the cue ball. He'd be worried about pushing the red near one of the right-hand pockets, though. And he's played it pretty well without doing so. The red was always the worry, whether he's got any cover or not, and he's quickly round to have a look.
I think you can see enough of this. It's a tough pot. Okay, the brown's now near the corner pocket, but need to cue these well. Where is it going to finish up?
was a horrible shot, wasn't it? Just one of those you don't like. The kind of situation you feel like Ronnie should get a snooker here, but it's not as straightforward as it first looks. And if it is, it's a very simple snooker that Mark should have no trouble from escaping.
Well, he'll settle for that. Although Ronnie is looking at the potting angle. Mark intended to knock that red up somewhere near the black spot area. Looks as if he's having a go at this. And once again, just hitting that quite easy. Look at the action he's got on the cue ball. Quick look at the scoreboard. 15 in front. Just needs the yellow and green, and it's 3 in a row this afternoon.
5.
It'll be 6 frames in a row if he, or when he knocks yellow and green in. No point in saying if, the way they're sitting.
7. 10.
Now you see the difference, 24. Thought he might have played that a little bit harder, and then he could have got an easy snooker behind the pink. Because Mark won't concede. Black's in a good position for the snooker that he'll need. He'd love to be able to knock the pink onto the cushion, but can't do it from that situation.
Thank you. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 10.
So barring that snooker, it's another frame for Ronnie. That makes absolutely sure.
Thank you. 9. 15.
Worrying times for the Welshman, Mark Williams. That's 6 frames in a row that Ronnie O'Sullivan has taken with the aid of a 51 break. He now leads 8 frames to 3.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, as you saw, ranking-wise, down to 30 in the world. Don't think that's on
As quiet as possible,
ability.
please. Frame 12, Mark Williams to break.
He basically hasn't played in all of the tournaments. That's the reason for it. Anyone that thinks he's outside the top 8 on ability, there's not much snooker, because he still is as good as ever. He doesn't do it every day, but today, very much a going day. He looks superb. And there's a long way between the two players now. 5-frame cushion. Okay, it could end up 8-all, but it seems a long way off, doesn't it, that Mark would win all 5 frames. Ronnie could really put this match away this afternoon. The form he's in.
Well, he thought he would leave that red that he took on safe, but it's not.
One.
The red that's just behind the bunch is available. Depends when Mark wants to go into the pack. Left himself purposely low on this, so this will bring a few into play, but he's got to make sure he doesn't let the cue ball drift to the cushion when he opens them up.
7.
That's not where he wanted the cue ball. Might be able to, well, he's not even looking at it. He might be able to drop the black in and leave the white just below the left middle pocket, and he will have the red to the right of the bunch available. Good cueing, and he's on that red. I think maybe he's not hit it hard enough. Oh, that's a bit careless.
14.
He put everything into the pot, which you can't blame him for. Only needed another 2 to 3 inches.
Well, he's playing
Mark
a
Williams,
fairly
14.
simple safety shot there. Mark's often one to put the cue balls down in the corners rather than in behind a bold colour. Don't think he could afford to take the risk and open the reds up any more. Always worth checking out any plants that's on there. Ronnie doesn't see anything. 2 reds at the bottom are fairly close to the right-hand corner. Couldn't quite get to those. I think Mark can get to them, possibly. Perhaps a little bit too thin, but those 2 reds might interest him. If he's playing a safety shot, perhaps in behind the yellow this time. That's a weak safety this time from Mark Williams. It's not so much that he's left a pot on, he just feel that Ronnie might be able to get into more trouble.
Yeah, most players have a nice little game plan on these long matches. You play them in little mini sessions, and you've got 3-1 in your mind. And if you could win all 4, well, that would be a bonus. Well, Ronnie O'Sullivan could possibly win all 4 of this first session here this afternoon. Green and brown now slightly better place to get in behind. Well, it looks as if he might be able to cue past the yellow and take this pot on. He's got a straightforward safety shot off the red to the left of the black, and he's kept Mark Williams away from the table, but he's cueing so well he must fancy this. Not a bad change of plan. And he's turned round and got down and didn't put everything into the safety. Just coming up to, well, 3 hours now.
That is a very good safety shot. He congested over on one side of the table. So Ronnie's got to find an escape plan. He's got a red. I think he can swing the cue ball across to the left, coming the other side of the black. Oh, well, he was meant to come to the left of the black directly. Went straight into it. It looks really disappointed, but it's one of just a couple of mistakes he's made all afternoon. Can't get every shot right all the time. And it was troublesome, Dennis.
Yeah, it was. And there's a chance for Mark to get out to the pink here.
1.
I mentioned with our little chat before the match started here this afternoon with John Parrott that if there was any scrappy frames you'd fancy Mark Williams. He's a great break builder, loves to be in the ball, but if the balls go a little awkward, he's a past master at winning that type of frame, and they have gone a little awkward here. Black was knocked up next to the blue with that poor safety shot from Ronnie. And now that the pink's back on its spot, it's going to be tied up somewhat. So it's not a good chance by any means here.
7.
I don't know if that red to the right of the pink would be available into the right corner in a few shots' time. That would clear the pink.
8.
Didn't quite get into that as he intended. He could only play for green or brown here. Brown's the better shot to get back up to the reds. It was very awkward. Only just having a glance up at the monitor. Can't always see how the balls finish when you're more or less level with the table.
Mark Williams, 12.
A similar shot to the one that Ronnie got a little bit wrong last time. All the action is on one side of the table, all those reds there. And the problem is getting the path back to the bulk area. We've seen that he's got it wrong once. He's further over with the cue ball to the right, but even then, this is a similar problem. He could possibly play to get the cue ball to the black end this time. It's not really his style. Sometimes you have to play containing shots, and that's what he's doing. The problem with that is you feel that even though he hasn't left a pot, he's going to be in more trouble the next shot, because Mark should get him in somewhere in behind the green. He'll be looking to get over on the same side of the table or taking on something to the left middle. Well, he is very good at those shots, I have to say. And Dennis pointed out earlier, he just drops the ball in, doesn't he, very slowly, and he's an absolute master at that.
Yeah, he thought he was going to stay on the green, and it just kept on going, the white. That's the
Mark
reason
Williams, 1.
for the safety. And he's blocked the path down the left side of the table again. So 27-point advantage. That's what he's looking at. He can't see enough of that red past the pink to get back down the table, and there's no escape route. Even Hawkeye can't see a way back down the table.
Again, a good containing shot. This time nothing to pot to the middle pocket. Mark just tries to get Ronnie in more trouble. Just want to hit the green. Could have been worse for O'Sullivan, that.
Yeah, he hasn't left anything, but he's left a chance for Ronnie to put Mark in trouble now. And this time it's Ronnie's turn to block the path round the left side of the table. There's a possible pot here, and he might be able to swing the cue ball around, but it's a risky one. Oh, he's going to leave some sort of tempter. I'm not sure about that shot, Mark.
I'm just thinking about these two. I can't remember too many tactical frames they've ever played. This looked like going that way, and Ronnie has won that battle because, like you say, the shot that Mark played there didn't seem on. And he's left him a good opportunity. Not even a half chance this, the way that he can get down for the pink. 27-point advantage when Ronnie came to the table. Looks a small, slender lead to me. This was the shot he played. He obviously caught it too thin. Tried to get the cue ball close to the corner pocket. Well, Ronnie just having a look as if he's okay. I think the two reds part could do a lot of scoring around the pink spot this time. This could be enough to win the frame, you feel. Ronnie doesn't rely on scoring around the black. He's very good at it, but he can score in the centre of the table equally as effectively. Now the problem here, he leaves a bit of an angle, so I don't know whether he can just hold for the pink again or whether he has to play on a different colour. He'd like to have stayed around the pink spot. The blue and the black are a little bit tied up. Can get on them both, but it wouldn't be easy. Playing it safe up onto guaranteed position on one of the bulk colours. Not a bad nudge on the brown. He may be interested in that. If not, it's the green.
Yeah, when you're playing well, you get all the nice little nudges, and this is a nice nudge on the brown. He can pot that, and he'd like to drop on the reds closest to the pink. Maybe a little bit too strong, but he had choices. He played for the two next to the pink. The pink's available, so he can screw back on it from here.
20.
He's got into that too. He's cueing so well. He hit that. He hit that too well, believe it or not. He's still on the pink, but not the angle that he wanted. Just a delicate little cannon here. He should be able to push one out of the way and leave the other. Played perfectly.
Yes, absolutely what he had in mind there.
26.
Looks slightly ominous, this situation.
27.
Getting top side of the pink and two reds that pop to the left corner. The same pocket he's taking this pink. He's still up to 95%. And players have made those kind of pot success. It's hard to see them not winning a match. He's just thinking about the scores and what reds he'll need. That was why he just paused there. Wondering whether he'll need both of the reds on the side cushion. A little bit sidetracked sometimes when you're thinking too deeply about the scores. Just got to keep his concentration.
He's still looking at the score. He's going to need the difficult red that's just by his cue there.
34.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that. If my maths are correct, if he takes a pink with all of these, there will be 34 in it. That includes the red that's the furthest down on the
40.
right, which means you'll need the other red. If he could take the black somewhere, it would help, but I don't think he can.
41.
That's what he was thinking about, Dennis. This will be 20 in it. And it'll be 34 with the other two reds.
It looks as if he's going to have to leave that difficult red to
47.
the end. So this the pink, the other red, and then imperative. He gets an angle on the pink
48.
to move that difficult red. He could try and move it when potting this red, depending on the angle, but that wasn't available to him. So if he can get the correct angle on the pink, he might be able to bring
54.
that red that he's going to need to clinch the frame with this visit.
55.
Now, how's that? It looks pretty good to me. He might be able to just bring this into play. Well, he just stunned in behind it. That'll do. He doesn't have to worry about position here, Neil. Just float this in the pocket.
61.
That's the thing, isn't it? He doesn't need to worry about his colour, and I suppose that's why he played the shot rather than the cannon, which appeared to be on as well, as you say. That is what
62.
match snooker is all about, though. He thought that through a long way out, and while he couldn't really avoid requiring the red, the way that he played it was just to knock it in and nothing else. He does look good today. I mean, I've said that before, but just even this, it's not. It's a break that's made him think all the way through. Oh, lovely shot again. Lovely shot.
I think he's so comfortable with that new tip that he's got on the cue. He really is. And
68.
I'm sure Les Dodd's sitting at home watching this, and he must be very pleased with the way Ronnie's playing with the tip that he put on for him.
O'Sullivan 68 and the frame.
Very good stuff from Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's had a terrific afternoon so far. He's starting to surge away from Mark Williams. He's leading 9-3.